Arab-Israeli conflict explanation. The Arab-Israeli conflict is a long-standing dispute over land, political power, and cultural identity in the Middle East. The roots of the conflict can be traced back to the late 19th century when Jewish immigrants began to arrive in Palestine, then part of the Ottoman Empire. The conflict has been marked by violence, war, and international diplomacy for over a century, and has caused significant human suffering on both sides. The central issue in the Arab-Israeli conflict is the claim to the land of Palestine by both Jews and Arabs. Jews claim a historic connection to the land dating back to biblical times and have long dreamed of establishing a Jewish homeland there. Arabs, on the other hand, claim a connection to the land based on their continuous presence in the region for over 1,000 years. In the early 20th century, as the Ottoman Empire began to crumble, Jews began to immigrate to Palestine in larger numbers. In 1917, the British government issued the Balfour Declaration, which stated its support for the establishment of a Jewish national home in Palestine. This declaration was seen by many Arabs as a betrayal, as they believed that the British had promised them their own state in the region in exchange for their support during World War I. The conflict escalated in 1947 when the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. The Jews accepted the plan, but the Arabs rejected it, arguing that it was unfair and would lead to the displacement of many Arabs from their homes. The following year, Israel declared its independence, and 5 Arab nations invaded to prevent the establishment of the Jewish state. Israel emerged victorious in the resulting war, but hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced, creating a refugee crisis that persists to this day. The conflict has continued with sporadic outbreaks of violence and warfare. In 1967, Israel launched a preemptive strike against Arab neighbors and seized control of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and Golan Heights. The occupation of these territories has been a major source of tension between Israelis and Palestinians ever since. Attempts to negotiate a peace settlement have been ongoing since the 1970s, but progress has been slow and difficult. In recent years, the conflict has been marked by continued violence and unrest. The construction of Israeli settlements in the West Bank has been a major point of contention, as Palestinians view them as a violation of their territorial sovereignty. Hamas, a militant Palestinian group, has carried out terrorist attacks against Israel, while Israel has responded with military action, including airstrikes and ground invasions of the Gaza Strip. The conflict also has regional and global implications, with many countries in the region taking sides and international powers becoming involved. The United States has been a major player in the conflict, providing military and economic support to Israel and attempting to broker peace agreements. The conflict has also been a major factor in the rise of political Islam and jihadist groups in the region. In conclusion, the Arab-Israeli conflict is a complex and long-standing dispute over land, political power, and cultural identity in the Middle East. It has caused significant human suffering and has proven difficult to resolve through diplomacy and negotiation. The conflict has regional and global implications and is likely to remain a major source of tension and violence in the region for the foreseeable future.